We've got Jay O'Brien up on the Hill, Karen Travers there at the White House. So I guess let's back up. One thing that they agreed on was a decision on how they're going to negotiate, right? So they're going to do that a little differently. Why don't we start with that, Karen, and how that's going to go forward?
Yeah, we heard that from House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, who said that the structure of the negotiations is going to change going forward, that the president was essentially going to appoint somebody to now engage with congressional staff higher level than what's been taking place over the last week since the president, McCarthy, and other congressional leaders last met here at the White House. You heard there Chuck Schumer was asked who that person was and what that was going to look like. He wasn't going to answer. He said, let the president talk about that. But notable then that this has shifted into some different phase of this negotiation. I also want to note, since the last time we talked, Kira, it is confirmed that President Biden will leave tomorrow for Japan for the G7 Leaders Summit, but that will be it for his Asia trip. He is cutting it short, coming back to Washington amid these ongoing negotiations. He will skip a stop in Papua New Guinea and Australia, so he will be back in Washington for the work week next week.
Okay, well, that's a good sign then. That's definitely a couple positive developments, I guess, since their meeting within the last hour. And Jay, if there's one thing we know about Kevin McCarthy, he knows how to hold out, right? What was it, 15 votes, 15 days that we went through for him to become Speaker. So he does like to wait to the very last minute, and then, you know, surprise, there seems to be a decision. So does it look like they will get to an agreement by the end of the week after hearing what you just heard from both sides?
Well, certainly, Speaker McCarthy says it's possible to get to that agreement by the end of the week. This is his exact words there, standing in front of the press of the White House. It is possible to get to a deal by the end of the week. He believes it's possible. Whether it's likely is still unclear. We also know that Rachel Scott asked Speaker McCarthy, and I'm getting the quote up here on my phone, how far apart the president and the House Republicans, represented by Speaker McCarthy in that room, are, and McCarthy says that they are far apart. So there is still work to be done. As you heard Karen say, the structure of these negotiations is changing. McConnell, Schumer, Jeffries, they will all take a back seat, and these talks will begin directly between President Biden and Speaker McCarthy. This is something, by the way, that congressional Republicans have said needs to happen for weeks. Mitch McConnell repeatedly said in the last White House meeting, since then and up until now, that Speaker McCarthy is the one who's going to be leading the Republican effort in these negotiations, and that any deal needs to be between President Biden and Speaker McCarthy. And now we are, of course, seeing President Biden and Speaker McCarthy become the principal negotiators in this effort. Can they hammer out a deal by week's end? That is still unclear, but certainly this is viewed as some form of a step in a forward direction. We will hear more from Speaker McCarthy. I'll look at my clock here. In the next few minutes, he's scheduled to give a press availability at 4:30 or at the earliest when he returns back here to the Capitol. So we'll hear a little bit more of what he thinks this development means and if he believes it puts them that much closer to a deal. But certainly, he still believes there is a possibility to get some form of agreement that would raise the debt ceiling and, because Republicans want to, exert some spending cuts by the end of the week.
All right, and again, the final deadline, June 1st. Jay and Karen, thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.